Look at that violence. Wow. Shelley, feel free to join the show.
Sorry, I was on eBay. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna do a new segment called "What Did Shelley Buy Now?"
We'll see in about an hour.
Are we too bright? I'm always so worried about us being like underlit, but are we? I don't know. I think we look all right. I mean, you know, as good as we can.
As good as it gets. About it.
Well, it is Mother's Day. It's May 8th, 2022. Let's see who's in the house, shall we?
Sorry, I'll quit shopping.
Looks like Bill Maxwell was the first one here. Bill, you know what you get with that? Nothing, but thanks for joining us anyway. Set out the fine china, Shelley. Company's coming. I love the shindigs. Well, it's going to be a shindiggy tonight. Happy Mother's Day to Shelley.
Thanks.
Lots of streams lately. Aaron must be taking his Geritol. No, you know what's actually true? I've been taking a lot of this, and I also been given a lot of this. So there you go, right off.
There you go.
Right
the first
off
one.
the bat. Happy Mother's Day, Shelley
nice.
from
so
Tarks 9.
Thank you.
You did regret that one already. Yep.
It'll leave a mark.
Happy Mother's Day, Shelley. I want to thank you for being a great mother to CG. How about that? That's very sweet, Daniel. Thank you so much.
That's so nice.
Okay, what does Sequential Treasures have to say? You know what moms don't want to see on your Mother's Day? Uranus. Right out of the gate, Shelley. Right out of the gate.
Don't waste any time.
Hey,
and there goes Husker.
And I want to point out to Sequential Treasures that who mocked me, who said, "No, we can show those clips, Aaron. You won't get in trouble."
Oh, busted.
We got flagged for a Friday night live stream for playing 10 seconds of Barney Miller. 10 seconds.
They're dumb.
So there you go. How do you like that? Okay, Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost always here.
Sorry, I got a head start.
No, you didn't.
What?
Did you guys ever watch the show?
You watch the show? Do you know what's going on?
Is there air?
I don't know. I'm not going to do that one. Oh, look at this.
What's this?
Mow the lawn today. It's Wraith of Sod 3. This grass.
Did it rain?
Okay, it has been raining like. It's totally nasty canasta outside.
I'm so over it. I am done.
I'm gonna pull her in just a minute.
Like the middle of the night over there.
I know, she's crazy. Mark Pengrin, Aaron, read your complete Sword of Sorcery, Amethyst today. Beautiful art. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Very nice.
Let's be careful. Aaron's mom might be here tonight, so no Uranus jokes. Already blown that, haven't we?
Way too many. You guys are on fire. You guys.
Let's see.
You guys, if you haven't yet, you gotta go back and read them. Pretty funny.
Yeah, we can get a few. We can get a few up. Will you slow down just a second? Now this is a good one. Do you realize the Earth fits into Uranus 63 times 64 if relaxed? So there you have it.
I don't even want to know those kind of things.
Okay, I'm not going to do that one. Geek Avengers is hot tonight. What did Jupiter say to Neptune? Hey, I can see Uranus from here. This is what Shelley's done to the show. It's just a complete
horrible.
Hey, there's Citizen Ronan. Remember when stargazing to always wear a belt with your pants? You wouldn't want to bend over and have everyone see Uranus. Well, you know, we can do this all night. But
in my class, when we're talking about planets inside, I'm like chuckling.
So many. There's another one from Sequential Treasures. Beware of planet quakes, as that can expose a crack in Uranus. So thanks.
So bad. Oh my gosh.
Jiminy Cricket's here. He says,
Jiminy!
Oh, where is it? Happy Mother's Day to Shelley.
Thank you.
Aaron and Shelley, hail. Thank you, Shadowhawk Backs. Daniel Russell, of course, is here.
Wow.
Squeaky. He's here. Kevin Thomas is here.
Mm-hmm.
Hail to all. Happy Mother's Day, Shelley.
Thanks. That's so nice. It's so very nice.
Randy Howell, of course. Those black and white Wild Wild West episodes were the best. They were. It's one of my favorite shows when I was a kid, along with Star Trek.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of the Western Star Trek, I used to think. You know what? Let's quit stalling and let's bring in our special guest.
Yay.
She is launching today
right
her
now.
Charlie's London Part 2, her second volume. And let's bring her in. Everybody, welcome from across the pond, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie's London. And look at that. The camera's working.
Yay. Oh, that's right, because last time it didn't.
That's right. We actually can see you. And it's 1 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah.
And you have to get up and teach tomorrow, don't you?
I've got a sneaking suspicion I'm not going to be going to bed. And
That's why I said I'd be getting a sub for sure.
The thing is, there's no point because I know that I'll just be waking up every couple of hours and just like check in or so. I just might as well stay here and just see what. The thing is that the way that I see it is that tomorrow night, like I would normally watch you guys on CG Kings, so it's a bit of a night off for me in regards because I'll be watching that and won't be streaming. So I'm just going to curl up in bed with a cup of something tomorrow night and watch you guys on the TV.
There you go.
Tonight's the hard work. So if I can literally go all night, I can do my lessons tomorrow. I can come home and go to bed and then do whatever. So it makes more sense. And the thing is, it's my fault because I launched on a really silly day. I didn't realise that you guys were having Mother's Day because our Mother's Day was 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah, but
well, see those card companies, greeting card companies that started all this stuff. They spread it out over the different countries so that they could get Mother's Day all year round, probably someplace. So,
I launched today because it's VE Day, and because the book has got a theme that ends with war. I thought, that's a really great, VE Day is a really good one to do. And then I was like, no.
Now you know.
Now we know. See, it all makes sense. Now, well, let's take a look, see where you're at here. Oh, we're growing as we speak.
Nice.
7,837. This just launched. Tell us a little bit about this one. How is it different than the first volume that just got shipped out not too long ago?
Well, this one starts in. So it flips between. It's the same theme, so it's going to flip between 1952 and his the past, but now it starts where he comes out of the premiere of Limelight, and the press are there to obviously talk about the film, but they're not talking about the film. They're talking about this business that he's got to go in front of the House of Un-American Activities, and he cannot get his head around the fact of that's what they want to talk about. Like, he doesn't understand that they're not there for the film; they're there for this, and he decides to stop. On his way back to his hotel, he stops at the Ritz, which was when he was over in 1921, was where he stayed. And it sort of goes back in time from there. So you then go from 1921 up to 1940 with the release of The Great Dictator. So this book's this is the mammoth book of the three, because it's going to include the Gold Rush. It's going to include City Lights, Modern Times. It's going to include the circus. It's going to and it ends with The Great Dictator. So it literally ends with America is about to enter you don't realize that you are on the cusp of pretty much having to enter the war, and London, which is the London of his youth, is being bombed. So that's where it's going to end. So it's very much got the theme of, again, going around seeing what happened with his career. And it's the idea that throughout the 20s and 30s and 40s, he constantly had this struggle of celebrity, stardom and creativity. And I don't think he ever quite understood why people wanted to read about his private life when his films were much more important.
Right.
So he tussles with this, and that theme of that tussle is very much from the very second page, when it's like, is it true you're a communist, Mr. Chaplin? Well, why aren't you here to talk about the film? And it's a bit like that. So, yeah, it's this one's going to be in so many ways. This is this is the biggie for him. The first one was the biggie for me, because that part of his life was what is so personal to me. But this now is what is so personal to everyone, because it's what they know him for. So I have to get this right. That's the way I see it. I have to get this part of it right, because this is the biggie.
Now let's take a look at a couple of these perks you have here. This first one, we have the first week Nolan double pack. So is that Graham Nolan's cover in color and in black and white? Is that what that looks like?
Yeah.
Let me zip down here real quick. There we go. There they are. There's Graham's in black and white. And then you've got
Gabe.
Did Gabe color this? Yes, he did. So that's really cool. I love it. They left Charlie black there, and black and white, and then the color around him.
Yeah, we kept that quiet, didn't we? We kept that quiet, that we had Gabe working on it. It's a real, it's a real powerhouse of two covers. I was going to offer originally the colors version for just 24 hours. And when I said it on a live stream, I was getting people in my DMs going, don't do that. Don't do that. You have to offer them both. Don't do that. So then I was like, okay, I'll offer a double pack at a discounted rate for the first week. But after that, they will still both be on the campaign. They're going to stay, both of them. And they've both proved to be massively, like so far, they've been really, really popular. So, and there's been so much feedback. They're not going anywhere.
Awesome.
I like this too. Now, this is this one of our cover options?
Yeah.
Or is this? Yeah. Good. That's like that. Modern Time.
Mickey, my interior artist. That's his cover. So he went for the Modern Times feel. Now, it was the one thing that's a shame about this campaign. But we had to go with it because of the way that things with Indiegogo are going, and also look, the way that you just get randomly attacked on social media for nothing. We was going to have a great dictator cover, but we realised with the way that things can be perceived, we decided no, we won't have it. So we went with like Modern Times and the idea of the tramp, the little fellow and stuff. But this one was Mickey's own. I said to him, he went to me, I want to do a cover, but I want to include a film. So I was like, right, these are the films to play around with. Just don't do one of the Great Dictator. So he came back with this. And what I love about this, and I don't think it's intentional, but it was the first thing I thought. You know, Mary Poppins, the bit where she's singing about feeding the birds. The way he's drawn St. Paul's in the background just makes me think of Mary Poppins, and I absolutely love that about it. He's just captured. There's something, and there's also there's a little Easter egg reference in here of like the little black sheep at the front. Unless you've seen Modern Times, you won't know the reference to that. But it's also the fact that he in this book is going to be seen as the black sheep. Cancel culture is very much the idea of the black sheep. So it's a real. I like the fact that he is a self-confessed I'm not a Chaplin fan before, and he's gone and actually watched all these films and become so submerged that he's actually now picking out bits so this is beautiful. This is going to be it is a stretch goal for a print further down the campaign as well, but the amount of people that have said to me, my God, this should be a poster, like the way that was drawn. So, and then we've got this one, which Peter Gilmore, who, very famously, he works with Mandy, and they do a lot of campaigns together. The most recent one he's done is Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. Well, he's always he's part of the CG UK crew. And he did this. The funny story with this is he actually did this when we launched book one. And he sent it to me, and I said, "Oh no!" He went, "What?" I went, "That's the circus is in book two. It's not in book one. It's not the same time frame." So he said, "Oh, that's no problem." He said, "I'll keep it." And then when we was thinking about covers this time round, I contacted him again, and I said, "Pete, have you still got that picture from the circus?" And he went, "Yeah." I went, "Do you reckon we could turn it into a cover?" He went, "Yeah, give me a couple of days." And he came back to me with this, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was sold on the monkey blowing raspberries at the bottom.
Yeah. This is really. I love all your covers on this second part here. I just think these are all terrific. And is this another one here now? So we have This would be the fourth cover option, or is this the first one? That's the first one.
No. So this is the second printing of the first book.
Oh, okay. All right.
So when people backed the first book, when we hit 50,000, we gave everybody a silent edition of the book. So it was basically the same book in mini form, but there was no words and captions. It was a silent variant.
Okay.
And so many people contacted me and said, why was that cover not a cover on the campaign? Because they loved it.
Right.
So again, went back to Peter Gilmore, who drew this. And this morning I said to him, that cover that you did for the silent variant, he went, yeah. I went, do you reckon that we could use it for this? He went, yeah. And then he came to me like hours later and they'd coloured it. Like he was just like that. He'd done it. He's such a Trojan. He's amazing. And so we decided to put this up because people were saying to us, what if we haven't backed book one? Are we going to be able to get it again? So this was the second printing. And the only thing that's different about the internal is Statistical Zero's Tramp Tale story is not inside because it was a stretch goal for the first campaign.
Right. Okay.
So we didn't think it was fair giving it away on this one when it was actually something that the backers on campaign one actually achieved.
Right. Excellent. And okay, we also have luxury boxes. So these are to put the books in?
Yes, so on the first campaign, we did a Keystone Kit and Caboodle tier, which was everything in the box. And the boxes were black matte, and they had a vinyl on the top of Charlie running with the Keystone Cops. So this one is going to be the same box, but on the top, we haven't done the design for that yet. So the mock-up on here is from the first campaign, but everybody knows what they're getting. So they know, the ones that backed before know exactly what it is. But it's probably going to be the Charlie's London logo with two cogs, one on each side, and Chaplin going over the top, because the boxes were meant to represent like what's in them. So because this is this part of the story, that'll be on that top of that one. But you'll get inside that box, you get all the books, and you also get anything that's added in the campaign, and you get this little model that is it's a figurine based on Statistical Zero's Tramp Tales. It's hand painted in silver in the box. But if you go through any other tier, you can actually get it unpainted, so you can paint it yourself.
That would be this version.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
You got some stretch goals lined up here at 15K. You get a sticker. Then we have bookmarks, and then the print for the Modern Times print, and then I assume that's a print for the circus cover.
No, it's a pin badge.
Oh, it's a pin badge. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a pin badge. We gave pin badges away with the Kit and Caboodle last time, and people really loved them. So I thought, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring them back. And the weight of, you always have to worry with these campaigns about the weight of things. And the weight of them is like next to nothing. So I decided, when I was thinking about a higher stretch goal, people that love the badges, they gave me that feedback. So I'm going to put them in as a stretch goal for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. Well, this looks like a fabulous campaign. I want everybody to know that it is in the description. The link for this is in the description, along with Wraith of God, because, I'm always going to plug my own stuff too. But we want everybody to go check this out, because the first one, which Shelley and I got, is terrific. And this is the period of time that I'm most familiar with. There's the Modern Times up through the Great Dictator and things like that. So, and I like the where you're dealing with Limelight a little bit, and then he flashes back. I just think the structure I think is really, really interesting. So we'll check on that a little bit later. But everybody, make sure you get out there and back that. It just opened today, and we want to get that $12,000 stretch or fixed goal here. I think you can do that very, very soon. So that's
for sure.
So let's go back to the chat here real quick and see what people are saying. They're probably insulting
Stats
me,
here.
but let's see what they've got. Sheldon Martin is here. Stat Zero is in the house. There he is. Hello, all. Kurt Chumsland, who happens to be my my cousin? Second cousin. in Montana, I think. So there you go. Thanks for joining us, Kurt. Prater 7. He's got to get one of those in.
Gotta have that joke.
Yeah,
this is what.
That's what
My
Shelley. Shelley's given us that, so we just have to kind of live with it now. New show. What's on Uranus tonight? Yeah. Well, how about this? Oh my goodness! I tell you, I'm embarrassed, Charlie, is that you would come on and see all this terrible language on our show.
And don't worry, if I stream with the CG UK boys, and it's like some of the things that they say, and because everything with British humour is so like puns and double standards of things. People in the chat are going, we don't even understand what they're saying, but they're all laughing at each other, so it must be funny.
It must be good. It must be funny. That's and it must be dirty.
What happens in the house? Like we're laughing. Somebody's like, we have no idea what they're saying, but it must be funny.
Eric Boyd says, Aaron Lopresti, the face only a mother can love. Well, I want you to love some of this. And maybe a little bit of this will help. There we go. So
I feel much better.
Yeah, I feel better. I don't know if Eric does, but I feel better.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see here.
Paul's here.
Oh, look at that. Shadowhawk's giving you a happy Mother's Day, Shelley. Misspelled your name.
That's
so
all right.
Even though you said happy Mother's Day to Shelley, because you misspelled her name, she's a little annoyed. Giving you the jellyfish because
I'm not a big fan.
It's annoying
of
that.
No.
Happy Mother's Day to Shelley and my mom, Donna. How about that,
Hey,
Dawn?
Dawn.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
There was a singing group in the 50s called Dawn and Donna.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh. I
wouldn't lie to you guys.
Okay.
Not on my own show. Maybe on somebody else's.
Oh, Squeaky, our dog is barking at your dog.
No.
Yeah, he must have.
Paul Brillart, he's asking a very good question. What do we have for snacks? And I've been stalling. So let's
intro some snacks.
I know. I've got so many like little things here that I have to kind of. There it is.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Sorry, that was Shelley off camera. So we have tonight. We have Fruitella soft gummies. These are very strange, but they're actually pretty good.
We get them over here. I tell you what, we've been eating in the car on the way home. Jolly Rancher watermelon, the hard-boiled Jolly Rancher ones.
Yeah.
And
I don't like watermelon.
You can only get them in certain shops over here because they're imported and they're really expensive.
We were amazed when we visited Paris. We went to, there was like a little grocery store there near our hotel. And they had all kinds of weird European snack treats that we didn't get over here, So we were like loading up on this stuff. We didn't even know what we were buying half the time.
Oh, right. I remember
that?
Yep. We always have snacks.
We also have our mountain mix, which is just basically candy with peanuts in it, but they try to tell you it's healthy, like it's some kind of granola trail snack, but it's just nuts and M&Ms. And I'm okay with that.
Then I'm usually having an adult beverage.
That's what my dad loves eating, and I look at him. I'm like, "You're mad," but he's always enjoyed it. He gets popcorn, as in like the one. Is it? Oh, what's the popcorn one that's covered in like the toffee flavored?
Right.
Butterkiss. That's it. Is it Butterkiss? He gets that, and then he'll put mixed peanuts in it, just ordinary like salted peanuts, and he'll eat. Or he'll have M&M peanuts mixed in with it. We
call that Cracker Jacks over here.
It is a thing. It's not just my dad being weird. Okay,
no, it's basically toffee covered popcorn with peanuts in it, and it used to be the traditional baseball game snack you'd get at baseball games, and it's not. It's kind of harder to find now because it's kind of an old school kind of thing, but I love it. So
we like it.
Your dad's all right. That's fine. That's fine to eat that.
I'll let him know.
We said it was all right.
Louis Bright Raven's having Reese's peanut butter cups, which is
that's a good one.
Maybe my favorite candy. Anything with peanut butter, really, I'm kind of, and chocolate. I mean, that's, you know, you can't get a better combination than that.
Thanks, Angelo.
That math stinks. What the heck? You'd say that to Shelley?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you can't say math stinks to Shelley. That does not go over well here.
No, it does not compute.
Happy Mother's Day, Shelley. Aaron, why the jacket? It's almost 100 degrees here in Texas.
Oh my gosh, seriously, I'm dying over here.
Freezing in here. She's got the fan on, and I am freezing. That's all.
That sounds like us, Jan and I. I'm always the cold one, and he's always warm. Always.
It's the same. It's just
it's hot in here always. Always.
Behave, children, or your mommies will spank your anus. Oh my God.
I created a problem.
This is all Shelley's fault.
No.
It is.
All right.
Should I tell you a faux pas that I made when I was doing my teacher training? And I know that Shelley would appreciate this.
Oh no!
Here we go.
And no one in the class picked up on it, right? So I don't know how I got away with it, but I was the first time in front of like a group of 13, 14-year-olds. I was really nervous teaching on my own, and then I turned around and I said, "Right, we need to actually discuss these two interpretations. We're going to have a mass debate, right?" No one picked up on it, and I thank the Lord above that nobody picked up on it. And I walked out like, how did these kids? When I was 14, 100% would have been sniggering at the back of that. Why did no one pick? Yeah,
I would have been snickering myself as the adult. I'm not the worst.
That's the kind of thing we need on this show. We need more of that. Thank you for that. That's great. And you know, everybody's happy that you're here. Shadowhawk Back says from Uranus, Charlie's London. Oh my
bad. It's
gosh!
So bad.
It just wait a minute.
So I don't know if you know the whole story of this, but we do this thing, Shelley knows, and he never tells me what's on it. And so he does Shelley knows planets, and I'm like, I got nothing. And so instead
she's a teacher, and she didn't know the planets in our solar system.
I'm a math teacher.
Except she knew
Uranus. And so because inside I'm a 12-year-old boy. And so every answer I would just say that. So by the end, of course, that was so fast forward to this week, and I don't know. I have this one class that you can't fault their enthusiasm, but it's 90% boys. So it goes off the rails quite well, every class I should
quickly.
Say. And so they ask me these questions like, well, if I was in a pool on the moon, what would it feel like? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a big field trip. I haven't been there. So then they start asking me like, where does wind come from? And in my head, I didn't say it out loud, which is really good. In September, I probably would have just said your butt, right? And so then I'm like, well, they start asking me about the color of skies on different planets. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just assign you each a planet and you guys can let us all know. And then I go, but I'm not going to be assigning a certain planet. And of course, then they all figured out that, yeah. So it's trickled into every aspect of our life.
Oh,
true.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Thanks to her.
I teach history, and we look at medicine through time. And one of the people that we have to look at is Robert Koch. You can imagine the kids have fun with it. Even though it's spelled Koch, and I always write it on the board as I'm saying it, because I'm like, if any of you say that, like, if any of you go there, like, you're really immature. But the truth of the matter is, we're teaching it to predominantly in my history class for examination year, like GCSE as we call it, is the 14, 15-year-olds. Of course, they're going to make fun. They're not going to not make fun of that. The best thing I ever had written on an exam isn't rude, actually, but it did make me chuckle. So they had to talk about the significance in medicine of Alexander Fleming. So he wrote this whole essay about what Alexander Fleming was famous for. And at the end, he wrote, and on top of all of these amazing achievements, he even had time to write Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and James Bond. And I'm like, Ian Fleming. Right. So I was like, do I give him marks for this? Do I give him marks for this? Like this?
Right. All I'm telling like, well, that was entertaining. Wrong, but entertaining, and give it out.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Look at all these people.
Oh, my
Hail
gosh.
Charlie's London.
Mhm.
Hails Charlie London from Tarks. We got Good Morning, Mrs. London. How
That's
about
really funny.
that? Don Edwards. Hail Charlie.
Oh my goodness.
Charlie, have you seen Aaron's Uranus from there? Oh my gosh. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I do actually have one more funny story along that sort of line. I mean, you can, as Shelley knows, when you've been teaching for a while, you can write a book on the things that kids come out with. Well, this year just gone, because we was, just coming out of lockdown and stuff, we ended up doing a lot of our parents' evenings on Zoom. And we use an app. I don't know if you guys, the States, have it called Edulink, where basically the parents' evenings are set up, but they're timed. So it's to stop them overrunning. So when the 5 minutes is up, they just boot you off. And I didn't know this. And so I'm talking to one parent about how their kid has done really, really well in this one particular paper, which was, again, the medicine paper. And there's a particular question on there about this guy called John Arden. And John Arden was a surgeon in the medieval times, but he worked out a way to actually cure hemorrhoids. Right, that was he performed all this surgery, but what he was most known for was being able to cut off hemorrhoids so people could carry on riding their horses to be soldiers in the war, because obviously that's going to be something that's going to cause a bit of a pain when you're riding a horse. The very last word I said to this parent on this parents' evening, because I didn't know it just cuts off, was, "Yeah, your son wrote a really good paper about John Arden and his hemorrhoids." And hemorrhoids was the last word. I was like,
that would have so been me.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Randy Howell is throwing $2 Canadian my way, saying, "Happy Mama's Day. Andre the Giant brought flowers."
Oh,
I don't really know what that means, but thank
I'll
you,
take
Randy.
it.
I appreciate it. Maybe that's a Princess Bride reference. I don't know.
8.
Look at that. Citizen Ronan. There you go. He's backer number 8 for you, Charlie.
Woo!
thank you so much.
Let's see here.
The other thing that you've become known for.
Wait,
Aaron.
no, don't start. We canonized the St. Shelley of Comicsgate.
Oh,
that was from probably the lop on the head I gave a while back there. From Can't back till Friday, Charlie's. It's breaking my heart.
Oh.
It'll still be there waiting for you.
It will be. Don't worry.
Skip Edwards art. Hello, Aaron and Shelley and the chat. Congrats, Charlie.
Yay.
Excellent. Look at all these people.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
You're
so
quite
cool.
the fan club here. I don't even know what that means.
When is Uzbekistan's Mother's Day?
Of course, that's a reference
joke,
to
I'm sure.
30 minutes ago when I said they have a Mother's Day for every different country every month of the year.
Rohawk's here.
There we go. David Williams in the house. God bless the host, guest, and the mighty chat. Happy Mother's Day, Shelley. Thank you so much.
Dave.
Same to your wonderful wife. Happy Mother's Day to her.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, Uranus is a gas giant, which can make for a very cruel joke in a crowded elevator.
That was another thing that got brought up in class about
now. Hang on
the gas giants. And of course, I was like, oh, do you know
Hang on a second. I had to get that in.
Didn't somebody write something like my Uncle Steve or something? Like, it was a gas giant like my Uncle Steve. It was in the chat. That
was
time,
it? Okay.
Yeah.
It could have been. There's been so many jokes about that at this point that I can't even keep up.
Can you add on the first book? Yes, you can, Daniel.
Richie Dupe, Hail Charlie's London.
It's even got a new cover.
They like the Nolan cover.
Yeah.
Hit the like button and back the book, people. Citizen Ronan's out there pushing it. Which reminds me, we should take a quick public service announcement to remind people how important it is to like and subscribe to this channel. So there it is. And also, those of you who don't know, Charlie's London has her own YouTube channel as well. And you want to go over there and like and subscribe to her so you can catch up with all of her goings on across the pond.
Practice that awesome accent.
That's right.
I'm working on it.
I used to do a pretty good British accent. My British accent sucks now.
Reckon.
Sucks now.
I love it. Okay. So can I do my thing now?
Wait a minute. Where did Dick Van Dyke get his awful Cockney accent? Can you answer that?
Do you know? I don't know. I kind of get the feeling that they knew it was bad, but they left it in for comedy value. And I think they did it because Julie Andrews' like posh British accent was so good. They wanted a real. But do you know what? Weirdly, I'm a Londoner. I've grown up in London, but that growing up as a kid, that never really bothered me. That he had a terrible. It was just a thing, It's like it was just a thing. But I don't know. I still love that film though. I haven't seen the latest one.
I just can't. I did. I don't know. Although I do like what's her face.
Emily Blunt.
No,
Emily Blunt.
Yes.
For the new one.
I love her. I just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we watched so many of those movies with the kids that, kind of burned out. Also, for me to stay awake that long, that'd be a miracle.
Hey, Angry Gamer, purchased my copy of Wraith of God the other day. Can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. It is at the printer. Hopefully we'll be seeing it sooner than later. But Beware Uranus with a deadly silent variant.
All week they're just planning for these.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Peter is amazing. I have an original page from Jack the Ripper coming soon.
Yeah, no, he is incredible. Don't worry, these jokes, and when you're a married couple, you realize how worse they are. We've only just come out of a phase of having a joke ourselves. So that meme that went round of the Somalian guy from, is it Captain Phillips, that goes, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." You know that one?
I haven't seen it. But he is.
Well, I'll put it in a DM and you'll see it. But Jan and I have been going around going, "Look at me, I make dinner now." Or really random, stupid things that have no concept. And it is really random things. It's like, "Look at me, I change toilet roll now," right?
I was the only one saying that around here.
Now, I don't know if Dunn Ringle is asking me or you, Charlie's, but for those of us who signed up early, is there a secret tier link or something I cannot remember? Let's say that's directed at you.
There are 2 exclusive postcards that you get for signing up early. So you get one that is a postcard of Peter Gilmore's Circus cover, and you get an exclusive print that's statistical zeros done of a montage of Charlie from the different films that are going to be mentioned in the book. So there are different ones, and also we are adding a stretch goal later on in the campaign, because everybody that knows and follows like Jan know that he does stencil art, and he's going to be doing a stencil art Charlie that is going to be a postcard, because what we wanted to do on this campaign is build up a series of postcards, like when you used to go to the cinema and used to get the little cinema cards. Right. What we wanted to do.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
And then the original art will be available on there as well. So there's stuff that the big tier the big Circus Box is it's definitely the best value for money. But I'm really bad at this, because most people put the really expensive one as their feature tier. But I'm like, if you can't spend that much money, I don't mind.
It's okay. It's okay.
I shove it at the bottom of the campaign. So it's like, it is the best value, but if you don't have the money, don't worry. I'm not a great salesperson with that sort of stuff. But the one tier that people have been loving, they've been messaging me saying this is great, is there is an actual buy Jan a beer tier.
I saw that.
Right. And I've called it the stencil artist can, because he does a beer review show, and he purposely finds weird and wonderful beers. He's tried a Marmite flavoured beer before, so like Vegemite sort of stuff. He's tried a roast ham flavoured beer before.
Roast ham?
Roast ham. Chocolate orange flavoured beer. He'll find a weird one. So I've said to people, like, buy him a craft beer and he will review it on a future stream. So that's
nice.
That's great.
And also he did all the bagging and boarding, and
put him to work. Excellent.
He's done, it's an appreciation thing. But what was really funny that I didn't realise till only a couple of weeks ago is I was handwriting out all of the customs forms, and equally all of the front of the envelopes. And then someone went to me, "You do know you can get them printed through like things like stamp.com or the post office, right?" And I went, "No." And then in the chat today, Michael Bancroft was, I really tell me to build 752 envelopes. Like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I'm sorry.
I know.
We learn as we go, right?
Our learning curves kicked in big time.
Yeah.
Just sending out the beanies and the shot glasses. And like, it took a couple hours to figure out the printer. And then we were trying to get things to merge. And then finally I said, bag it. I just copied and pasted everything over one at a time.
But we're getting it figured out. We're getting it figured out. So 2 teachers on one stream. Great. That's an eye roll there. I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, us teachers.
Tom Tuttle threw me $5. Thank you so much, Tom. Really appreciate that. Happy Mother's Day, Mama Lopresti. Charlie, I'm on the road right now, but later this week I'll be headed to the big top.
I like that.
That's right.
Woo. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm not even going to go there.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. I watched a few Guy Ritchie movies. I never know what they're saying with all the heavy accents and the.
I need to watch the stream back because I was in the chat for a couple of streams last night, and somebody said, and I loved it. I told all the CG UK guys in our DM room that CG UK is that cousin that you can't wait to see, but you never understand what they're talking about. And that is 100% true. Like, I know that.
Funny.
I was saying to a couple of guys on the stream, the launch stream today, that I used to stream like loads when I had more time to myself and the time difference wasn't a massive factor. I used to stream like so much more with Mandy Summers, and we'd have chats in the back room afterwards, me, her, and Optimus Deadpool and Wyatt and people that were on the show. And I swear to God, unless Peter Gilmore was there, I didn't have a translator because I'd say things and the words don't correlate in American. Like, for example, I just might say something and then it's not a word, or if it is a word, it means something totally different. and I would get like, what? I'd say I don't know what that is. Like, because a lot of them are from the South and they've got certain things that colloquialisms and stuff that they talk about together. The same as me while with a Londoner. You don't realize we speak the same language, but we don't. It's really mad at times.
It is funny. I don't even speak the same language as my teenage daughter. Well, actually, she's 20, so I guess she's a young adult, right?
Oh,
she just seems like a teenager.
Think about it.
Let's see. Kyrus Comics says Aaron has moon pies from Uranus. Of course. Where else would you get them from? Yeah, anytime. Oh, here's someone commenting on the Popcorn Chicago mix cheese and caramel. How about that? So there's all kinds of ways you can do your popcorn. Well, let's see here. Oh, this is good. Eric the Guapo says soft gummies because Aaron can't have hard food until his dentures get refitted. It'll help you loosen up your dentures. Oh, that'll.
You guys are so funny.
Oh, look at Winston Go all the way from Singapore. Happy Sunday in the U.S. Happy Mother's Day, Shelley. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, are you that far behind?
Soft gummies so Aaron can gum them. Here, let me loosen things up for you. Here. If that doesn't loosen up your gums, nothing will.
Nothing will.
Well,
go ahead.
Are we that far behind?
Yes.
Well, we've been talking.
I know.
Let's see here. Happy Mama Day, Shelley. Aaron, you're cold. The change can be a biatch. Stay warm. Hail, Charlie's London.
I think I'm so warm. Ay, ay, ay.
I don't know. Is that good enough?
I don't know.
Uranus is the butt of planet jokes. I guess that was pretty good.
I like that one.
In fact, that was so good.
We got to give him a yay.
Where is it? There he is. Dude, Evan Chaplin. Look at that, man. Talk about being prepared. Nicholas Gear is here.
Hey,
congrats on your campaign, Charlie.
Yay.
What do we got here? Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir. Hail, Aaron, Shelley, and Charlie. Happy Mother's Day and happy launch day.
Yay.
I'm not going to do that one. Let's see here.
I love the one we should get Dale to do a cover for Charlie, and then John
wait a minute.
lose his
Someone
mind.
Daniel Russell's asking for puppets, and I think I need to point out, I don't know how you feel about puppets, Charlie's, but I had a couple puppets around the house that I bought just as gifts for my kids, and now I'm the puppet guy on Twitter, and I'm not a puppet Shelley makes it seem like we have nothing but puppets in this house, and we have a couple puppets, all right? But oh Lord, see, my reputation is.
Well, I've got a remote control baby Yoda, so and he
There you
does.
go.
I have to admit, though, this one was in my classroom. I had to bring it home from the classroom.
Well, I've taken Yoda into school because you can make him. There's loads of different buttons on the remote that make him do different things. So you can make him like giggle, and you can make him like look a bit confused, and you can make him shake his head. So I've actually taken him in and used him, especially the younger ones, like the 11 and 12-year-olds. Yeah. When they have to, I basically get them. This is really cringy, but I get them to do this thing where they have to give a little presentation. And then I don't mark it. I get Yoda to mark it I press the button if they're right, wrong, or a little bit, they need to improve it. Yeah. And I call, this is really cringy. I call the activity Yoda teacher.
Okay, you are way worse than I could ever be.
Way better than I could ever be.
No.
I'm so, this year especially, just so tired and blah. But,
Angela Curry, congrats on your launch, Charlie's.
Yay.
There you go.
I'm going to give a check-in.
Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Here's another question for you. Oh, nice. So since I signed up early, I get those automatically, or do I do something special for the postcards? Asking Charlie's. There you go.
No. You'll automatically get them. So when you do anything like that, you can download all of the email addresses that have done that. And then it goes into like an Excel spreadsheet. And then all that you do is you cross-reference them with backers. And if their email was an email sign up and it's on a backer, they automatically get those cards. So it's not a problem. There's nothing else they need to do.
Thanks, Donut.
Paul wants to know if there's any chance of a 4 to 6 page Kit Carter story as a stretch goal for future campaigns. There is a strong possibility for 15 pages of Kit Carter as the stretch goal in the next campaign, Paul. So keep your eyes open for that. Ooh. Dark cherry stout beer is good. No, I haven't had that, but it sounds good.
And not being a beer person, you probably even like that one.
I know it sounds like it's almost candy.
I think that's something I would like, because when we go to Belgium, I always bring back cherry beer, which is really they're really nice. Lindeman's, it's like an actual Belgian brand.
When we go to Belgium, I'd love to say that.
We went through there.
We did
on a train.
I looked out the window on the train, but
we didn't stop.
Well, like we go, well, I went up to Washington State, or I went to wherever, and when I went to Belgium.
Well, I've got a really interesting. So, about a year ago, I booked to go for a conference in Belgium about stuff to do with the First World War, and I didn't realise that it's while my campaign is live in 2 weeks' time. So I'm going to be doing streams from being out there. But what's really funny is that well, not funny, but when I've been doing this research on my grandfather that died over there, Billy Tucci messaged me and said that he's found that he had a relative over there. And when I've looked him up, he's in the next cemetery along from where my grandfather's buried. So I've told him that en route through, I'll get some pictures and I'll send them to him so that he's got something.
That is so cool.
It's not very easy for you guys to get over there, but actually it doesn't take a huge amount of time for us to go to Belgium.
Yeah, that's what I would love.
Louis Brightraven says, Aaron, you mean after all these years, you still haven't accepted that you are indeed Shelley's puppet? Well, I have.
Wow.
I have accepted this, though. And I would like you to accept it as well.
Just for you.
All right. Well, let's, we've been talking, we've been having a good time, but we have a show to do, Charlie. Let's move along here and get to some of the strange stuff. We always do a Wrightson of the day, which actually is kind of a Wrightson image of the week because we only do it once a week.
That's true.
But let's take a look at the Wrightson image of the day so Shelley can knock on it. Okay?
I stand corrected.
Yeah, Shelley she likes she said, didn't we just do this one with the thickness of the, the haunches and of the dinosaurs? I said, no, it was the Diplodocus last week that we did that had the girth. And this one, these guys, the Hadrosauruses had girth as well. Oh. So anyway, Shelley, what's your opinion of that one?
Looks like something you would draw because you're the dinosaur guy.
Well, I'll take that. If it's Wrightson,
his background was very much faded compared to what he normally would do.
That's right. Well, it's washed out, so you're focusing on the two main Hadrosauruses in the foreground, and in the background, of course, you wash out. That's good. It's good enough. Wrightson did, of course, 5 of those posters back in the mid to late 70s, 77, and we've seen 3 of them now, and there's 2 more to go. So we will, as we move along in the weeks to come, we will. We're gonna do one more thing, and then we're gonna refresh Charlie's page and see where she's at. So let's see what we got here. Oh, all right. So
I forget.
I'm not going to take my clothes off, so don't be alarmed.
What are you doing?
But what did Aaron buy? Okay, this is what I bought. No, it's not that good. Aaron bought
a T-shirt,
an Avengers T-shirt. So it's kind of like buying a comic book, but I bought it on my shirt.
He also bought new underwear, but we're not going to show you those.
No, I went out to get underwear and socks and came back with this. And underwear and socks. So I did get those, but
we live an exciting life.
That's right. That's like
a comic artist version of Jackie and the Beanstalk. They go out to buy things instead of coming back with magic beans.
It came back with a Marvel T-shirt. All right.
Yeah. And then our son saw it and said, "Well, I want one." So
so he ordered some.
I went online and ordered them.
No,
because I'm such a mom.
As much as we're not,
even though he's 28, I ordered his T-shirts for him.
As much as we're not in favor of Marvel's current incarnations, I kept saying this is classic Marvel. This is the old stuff, not the new stuff.
And I said, okay.
That I remember from my youth.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's take a look.
What else?
At the old campaign trail and see what's happening.
Did you refresh?
No, I'm going to.
Oh, you're going to now. Ready?
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah. Do it.
Let's see what we got here. We're at 78.37. Come on, guys. What do we got? Whoa! Woo! Look at that. Nice work.
Nice job.
That's fabulous. So we'll come back and continue to check on that again. I want everybody to know that the link to Charlie's campaign is in the description of this video, along with the Wraith of God. The link is if you want to go and visit that as well. But do check out Charlie's London from Walworth, not Woolworth, but Walworth to wartime.
Yes,
so
tough to say.
It is. It's almost like trying to say sequential treasures,
that's a tough one.
Which is a tough one for me.
Yep.
But probably not for anybody
19
else.
comments, man.
I can't do everything at once. I can't do everything at once, Shelley. Stat Zero is back. Stat Zero is back. He let everybody know when he left. He wants everybody to know he's back.
Well, I feel much better now.
Yeah. Marvel themed underwear and socks too, I'm betting. No, the regular socks and underwear.
Although he does have Nebraska Cornhusker socks and underwear.
I do.
To share too much information.
I do. Yeah.
But,
Fox Mulder's throwing $5 my way. And I think, thank you, Fox, so much. I appreciate that. Fox bought his way into Wraith of God. So he's actually appears as a character, and he gets credit on the title page for appearing as a character in the book. And he gets the art. So thank you so much, Fox.
And he lives.
He lives?
Isn't he the character
I hope he does live.
Well,
oh, no, you mean the character.
Yes.
Yeah, he did not get killed.
The other one.
What is the issue number for the Avengers cover on your shirt? It is an amalgam of multiple images. Like this is from Avengers number 4, the first appearance of Captain America in the Silver Age. Gosh, some of these, that is giant size Avengers number 1.
You got me. You can say whatever, and I go, okay.
I'd have to look at some of these a little closer, but they're all different varying images. That's why I thought it was kind of cool. All right. Oops. Finally made it. Happy Mother's Day, and congrats to Charlie's from Neon Todd Studios. Thank you. What's this now? Old man says, when you get older, you still wear nerdy t-shirts. You just hide them under your regular clothes unless you're at home, like Clark Kent hiding the S symbol. Actually, I was hiding it so I could reveal it for what did Aaron buy now. I didn't want you guys to see it too early.
Apparently.
I am. I got a t-shirt on. This is a long sleeve shirt, and then I got my coat and hat on, and she's got the fan on. So my hands are just now starting to warm up.
It's horrible.
Just to say to Fox Mulder in the chat, I will say, so when we was in lockdown, I love the X-Files is like one of my number one things. That's probably
Great show.
When I was a teenager, I used to collect like all the Topps comics and the Topps trading cards and the figurines and everything. Like I've still got it with my parents, and there's like boxes of this stuff. I think I had at one point over 3,000 trading cards of that. It was like
no kidding.
Wow.
And during lockdown, I was like just scrolling through, I think it was Pinterest, and someone had made out of Lego Mulder and Scully's office. They don't officially do one. And so I decided I was going to go buy all the bricks and do it myself. And I did. I made my own Mulder.
Nice.
Did you really?
I did. If I can grab it and not destroy it in a minute, and I'll show you. But then for my birthday, because I also love Friends, Jan bought me Central Perk. And me being me and being a total weirdo, I made it so that the office was underneath and I was able to put Central Perk on the top. So it's actually like a block. And then he bought me for, I don't remember what it was for. It might have been Christmas. You can get the apartments, like the apartments from Friends. And he bought me that set, and I haven't put it together yet. I want to put it on the top and just make this like sound.
Oh my gosh.
That is great. Like this big hotel where it's got all that.
It's really funny to watch her. Well, she was 19 at the time, but our 20-year-old watch all the Friends episodes and then try to explain to her how awesome it was. Well, it was irritating too to have to wait to watch them, but how our Thursday nights were just,
must see TV,
Seinfeld and all that. And then our kids are binge watching. I'm like, you're so lucky. You don't even know what it's like to wait.
On the other hand, the one thing that I'm really glad the way we grew up is that there was no ruining of the episodes. Like, for example, the internet sort of come in from like when I was at school, when I was about 14, 15. So the X-Files was out of its peak, but it was still on. And I remember you guys used to get it like 6 months before us, but there was no internet. So we didn't have any spoilers. We just used to wait for it to be on. Right. And it's like the other big show that I loved till it got crap was The Walking Dead. And I remember with my brother, when there was going to be like massive scenes coming up or big episodes, we would stay up till 5 a.m. our time. So we'd watch it, like stream it on American time. So we weren't reading spoilers on the internet the next day. And that's one thing I'm really grateful that we didn't have when the X-Files was such a big thing. I would have been so annoyed if someone had ruined one of them for me.
Yeah, because there was a lot of good episodes.
But even...
Wait a minute. I was going to say I had to take care of some business here first.
Okay.
Mortal 5 says, laugh out loud. Aaron should have a giant N for nerd under his jacket. Well, let me slap that right out of your face right now. All right, Shelley, go ahead.
For Nebraska, though.
That's right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were saying?
I don't remember.
You know what my mom says? If you can't remember, it must not have been important.
Or it must have been a lie.
Yeah.
My mom.
Oh, Dan Lawless is pushing his services for you, Charlie. So I'll let you guys deal with that in the after the show.
The truth is
here we go. Charlie's. Is there a 24-hour cover like last time or not?
No, there is a 1 week special with both of the Graham Nolan covers in color, in black and white and in color, at a £5 discounted rate if you buy them together. After the first week, that will disappear and they'll just be sold separately. Because I was originally, the whole reason the gay coloured version came into play was because I wanted to do this time a 24-hour variant of Graham's one in colour, whereas before it was in black and white. And then when people saw it, they were like, no, don't just do that for 24 hours. Like, keep it on the campaign. Right. And I was like, no, I'm gonna listen to that. I've learned always listen to people that are adamant when they give you advice. For example, last campaign, Billy Tucci did me a print. It was originally going to be a cover. He saw the print that was meant to be a print and not the cover. So the flip of what his was, he saw that and he said to me, don't make my image a cover over this one. That one's got to be a cover. Make it a cover. And it was the one of Charlie sitting on the building. and that one stole the show. Like it run away with every other. And he said to me, "See, I told you." And I was like, from that point on, I'm like, if you, like, I'm listening to you guys. You know,
And I love how he does give good advice, even if it's don't make mine the cover.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so thoughtful and
William K. Holland. Oh my, not the Three Stooges smack to the face. A Charlie Chaplin book. I'm curious. Well,
it's
William,
so good.
Check the link in the description of this video and zip over there to Charlie's London from Walworth to Wartime. Just opened it today on Indiegogo, and you can check it out. There's a lot of options there for you to order, and it's terrific. So she had a volume 1 that came out well, actually it wasn't that long ago that you shipped it, right? Just a couple months ago. And and that's also available, right? You can get, didn't we talk about that you have a reprint of the first one with a new cover that's available in this campaign as well, right?
Yep.
Okay, so there you go. If you missed the first one, you can get them both from this campaign.
Yeah, it seemed like a no-brainer to not include it, because the thing is, when I launched, I was kind of well known in CG, but I'm definitely 2 years on, a lot more well known now.
Right.
So it was like, and also I've had so many people say, honestly, I had no interest in Chaplin other than hearing how passionate you was, and then when I backed the book, I loved it so much I want the second one. And it's just been absolutely, the one thing I'm really grateful for is that it's giving him a new lease of life in other things that wouldn't, the biggest thing for me was, as you guys are going to find out, trust me, it will happen, when you order all your books, the top couple and the bottom couple are probably going to be not good enough for you to send to your backers. It just happened, right?
Right.
So I had in total probably about 100, I think, that were, the damage on them was minuscule, but I wasn't going to send them to the backers because some,
Right.
you know what comic collectors are like.
Sure, yes.
So I took them into school, and I gave them, I don't know if it's the same in the States, but we have form groups. So you have like all the kids you teach, but then you have a certain group of kids that you see all the way through school that you check in once a day with, and it's usually about 30 kids. So mine are all what we call year 7. So they're the babies, they're the 11-year-olds. So I'm going to have them till they leave and go to college.
Aww,
and I gave them all a copy of my book. Now, they've got no interest in Charlie Chaplin, but after they read it, they were going on the internet, they were looking him up, they were looking his films up on YouTube. But what's crazy for me is we've got a scheme in our school where we use a lot of things like on the iPads and digitally. So they have an iPad each assigned to them that the schools lets them use. And they're allowed to use that all the way through the school. But they took the little stickers from the first campaign and they stuck them on the outside of the casing. So I see this little sticker with my face on it on their iPad cases. And I'm like, and I put some copies in the library as well. And they do a thing, they do silent reading in some of the classes when they first come in. It's just to get them settled. And a couple of them were reading it and I was like, this is bizarre. They've taken this out of the library. One kid went, "Miss, this person's got the same surname as you." I was like, "Yeah, that's because it's me." And they was like, "No, it's not." And I spent 30 seconds arguing with this kid that it wasn't. Like, he thought I was winding him up. So, a strange journey this book has taken me on. I cannot even tell you.
Yep.
William K. Holland, if you want to talk about the book on podcast, I do interviews of indie comics people. I would love to pick your brain about this idea. He must be talking to you, Charlie. So there you go.
Yeah. 100%. And the thing is that's really unique about this campaign is it is officially licensed. The Chaplin estate have officially licensed this, and they have to check, like they check everything over before it even goes on there and stuff. So this is so closely connected with them, you wouldn't even believe it.
Oh, wait a minute. They're telling us to go and check your check the screen here. So refresh, see what kind of business you're doing here. Let's refresh this baby. Oh, 8,500. Look at you.
How many
go.
Backers?
91 backers.
Wow.
I'm number 93.
Oh, sometimes it takes time to update, but thank you so much, Shelley. I do really, really appreciate that. It's Yeah, it's been absolutely. I mean,
so he's like, do it again. See, I want mine to show. Do it again. Not yet. So
it does take a bit of time. I know that, but the only thing that is missing on this campaign that I really wanted to do, but I couldn't negotiate the license in time. So maybe I'll be able to include it in book 3. Is Chaplin was actually good friends with Winston Churchill, and they used to communicate via letter about different things that was going on socially. And one of the big things was, why wasn't the world doing more about Hitler? Like, they both felt the same way when no one was taking any notice of them. And this was back in 1934. So Churchill was still considered to be a failed politician and a failed military man. And Chaplin was, he was a comedian, so no one was going to listen to his ideas. And they would have these, and I wanted to do some sort of something about the friendship that they had and then how it developed. Because on book 1, I also did the friendship that he had with Stan Laurel and how that played such a big part in their lives. But just like Chaplin, good old Churchill's got an estate that protects his rights and his image and all sorts of stuff. So I couldn't negotiate it in time for the launch. So it will still fit onto book 3, but sadly it would have been so much better if it had been here, because it's on my Twitter that you'll be able to see, but I was able to stand as a Churchill's childhood home. Churchill's home that he had in Kent, which is not far from us, is Chartwell, which is where he spent his years before he became Prime Minister. You can visit that now. And there's a really famous picture of him stood next to Charlie Chaplin outside the doors. And I had my picture taken in the same place. And you can't really get there because it's around the back. I told them like what I was doing. They let me take a picture of it. So hopefully, yeah, it's very, their letters to each other are really interesting. Like, considering Chaplin was a self-made man, he taught himself to read. And Churchill was this academic that had written books about history and had obviously been a politician and a military man. The fact that they were having these conversations and quite clearly in awe of each other, coming from different spheres of influence, it was just really, really interesting to read them. And they need to be made more public, because this whole thing about Chaplin being a communist, if you read these letters and you actually got to grips with it, you realise he's not at all. What communist doesn't want to give up his British citizenship because he wants a knighthood and he wants to be a member of the aristocracy? That's not a communist. That's not so. But it's funny how that's still a thing. Like, in this book, I got people in my DMs on Twitter. Why are you making a book about that communist Charlie Chaplin? What?
Oh my gosh! If ignorance was painful,
that's what we say that a lot.
But let me show you something.
I want my number on there.
She keeps refreshing right for another color. Okay, we're going to take a little sidebar here and do a little something. I think you'll appreciate this, Charlie's.
Oh no, I got outbid on eBay.
Okay. We'll worry about that later. Now, Charlie's, this is my 1976 price guide, the very first price guide I ever owned, that I ever bought. And we look in here every week and see what something cost in 1976 and what it's worth now.
And we mentioned that who did a cover for this year's price guide?
I did.
This guy did the cover.
I did a cover. But let me show you the book we're looking at this week, if I might. He
asks me, and I have no clue.
Well, Charlie can play along too.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
See, I'm prepared. I know what's going on. All right. Now, Charlie Chaplin's comic Capers from 1917. Yeah. Now, this is a Platinum Age comic, which was prior to the Golden Age. So basically, a lot of these were like Buster Brown shoe store giveaways and things like that. They were very different than what our modern comics are today, but they're still classified as a comic book. So you can't even find a copy of this in near mint. Cool. VF, very fine, is the highest grade you'll be able to find a copy of this book in, or at least they found so far. So in 1976, if I could have found one of these in the highest condition, a VF, it would have cost me $20.
I was thinking 25. So
well, you're right there.
I'm going to stop now because that's my best ever.
But 2022 in Joe Biden's America, what would you pay for a very fine copy of this? What do you think?
I think that's going to be it's going to be somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000.
Citizen Ronan says 3,500. Shelley, do you have?
I'm going to say $5,152.75. Approximately.
Well, you guys are going to be a little disappointed. I was actually surprised to find this out. Only about between $1,200 and $1,400. If you could find one, you would think it would be more valuable than that because this is scarce. It's got to be rare, but that's what you're looking at. If you can find a copy of this, you could get into it for $1,200 to $1,400, according to the price guide. But if someone actually had it and was selling it, they'd probably be asking considerably more than that for it. But I thought that was pretty interesting because I wasn't, when I knew you were going to come on, I thought there's got to have been some sort of Charlie Chaplin comics out there at some point. So that I specifically went and looked and found it. So there you go, just for that show. So there you go. It's not as valuable as you might think it would be, but my guess is, like I said, if you could find one, whoever had it would charge you a lot more than 12 or 14 for it. So you might be up in that $3,000 range that you brought up. All right, Shelley wants me to refresh your page, so we're gonna do that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Oh! 8754. So Shelley's in there.
Yep, I was number 93.
You are climbing like a mountain climber. This thing is going, baby.
Awesome. And I think we can get it to 9 by the end of the show. Come on.
Yeah, let's get this up to 9. That's not that far. And everybody, remember, the link is in the description of this video, so you can just zip over there, sign up back in some tier, then zip right back here for the good jokes that Shelley's going to provide for us.
I liked that guess best.
$320,000. Wow, that's quite an increase from $20. But that'd be nice.
Pay with your life, Eric Johansson says.
Congratulations, Charlie's.
Yay, woot.
Well, if Charlie Chaplin was wearing a cape, it'd be worth millions. That's probably true. All right. Well, I'm going to skip ahead in our programming.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not. Because there's a slight chance when I show precious moments, there could be some flaggage because it's a little bit long, but it's epic. And so we're going to do.
We always have precious moments, and I usually it's my favorite part.
But we're not going to do that yet.
Okay. We're
going to do this instead. Okay. Here we go. What did I find on my flat files today? Well, I pulled out some bigger art because I thought it might be fun. So I'm going to switch here to our Razer Cairo camera and take a look. Now, don't be offended here, Charlie, so I'm going to go full screen for a minute.
Okay.
But we can still hear you breathing, so be careful. Okay, so these are like 14 by 18. This is a John Carter of Mars piece. And I went in and inked it. And I inked this a little bit looser than I normally do. Kind of trying to get a Frazetta vibe on it, you know?
Oh, you got it.
And then I went in with some markers and did some grayscale on it. So you've got Tars Tarkas back there. You've got Deja Thoris with her knife, because she's always ready for action. And then John Carter jumping right into the fray. And I've had this for several years. I did this back in 2012, and I can't believe I haven't sold it, but there it is. It's still there. It's kind of a fun piece. So anyway, I pulled that out of the old flat file. Now, this goes way back to 2000. I did a portfolio, an art portfolio called, was it Weird Worlds or something like that? And it actually featured the first appearance of Kit Carter. She was in that portfolio. There was, I want to say there was 4 black and white plates, and there was a full color plate that was Kit Carter. So anyway, this is kind of another Frazetta sort of inspired cave guy. The spear, looking for this. Well, she looks a little scared, but she is got a knife, so she's ready for action. And she has, of course, a French cut leopard skin bikini bottom.
Don't we all?
When you're in the jungle, you got to be styling. So,
gotta be something.
Anyway, this was it's kind of a fun piece where you use the black trees and jungle to sort of frame the villain here, and then kind of she gets
Very Wrightson-esque of you.
She's kind of hiding back down here in the tree vines. So anyway, there's that, and then there's one other piece. Now this is a little saucy. Another leopard skin bikini, kind of an Adam and Eve sort of joke.
Because that ain't happening.
This is a watercolor painting I did, actually. That's kind of why. And I actually like the way the snake turned out. You got a little sheen on his snaky skin. And this was the cover for one of my very first sketchbooks that I did whilst at CrossGen in Florida. And the thing is, I went to let's see, this was digitally printed, and the cover, for some reason, I'm not sure, they didn't do anything to seal the cover. So I had a bunch of these sitting in boxes, and they stuck to each other, and the ink did. So when I pulled them apart, it ruined I had about 30 more copies of this that I could have sold that are just destroyed. So this is a pretty rare. If you have this sketchbook, it's and it's square bound. It's a nice book. You've got a pretty rare item. So anyway, those were the things I pulled out of the old flat files for this week. And Charlie returns, and let me do this because there we go. Let me get better pictures of everybody. Wait, where is that knife going? Oh my goodness. Awesome camera, Aaron. It is.
Much better than our old
It does.
one.
It's so much sharper. And I should actually.
If you had it, you would have Fraga's belt. You would have won.
If you'd had this camera, I think there may be some truth to that. I think I got a little jobbed in that, but
That's okay.
I'm not bitter. Actually, I am bitter. Why is Kelsey Shannon in that picture? Oh, sorry. That was funny. Yeah, that's watercolor. Wow. See?
Yeah.
Practice, and look what happens. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's do this. I don't think I'm going to get struck. But if we go black for a few minutes, hang on. We will be back. But I don't think I will. I don't think it's long enough. But I put the most work into this. I'm really building this up. But I put the most work into this Precious Moments that I ever had. There was some editing involved in doing this. But I think you guys will enjoy it. So watch your monitors. Here we go.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
You were fine. You didn't go anywhere. You didn't go anywhere. I tell you what's really funny. I tell you what's really, really funny. And it is a way I can stick my middle finger up at YouTube a little bit. Is whenever I put anything Chaplin on and I get a flag, they go, "You don't have permission to use this," and I'm like, "Yes, I do." And then I send them the gump, and then all of a sudden it gets lifted.
Oh my gosh! Look, that was a good one, Aaron. People like that one.
Oh
gosh, that one got me.
I don't know why they did a scene with Porky Pig swearing, but obviously they never used it in a cartoon. But it is there on YouTube, folks, if you look for it. Oh my gosh, that was funny. So funny. I couldn't resist it. I was going to do something else, and I had come across the Porky Pig thing, and then I just started putting together all of his and I started cracking myself up, and I thought, okay, this is pretty good. And then I found the one where he was swearing, and I went, oh my gosh, this is the end right here.
Wait, from an Aaron stream and all.
Oh, I know. I know.
That influence on him.
But I did put up the language alert out, so at least
You
I'm
did.
consistent. I'm consistent.
It was
So
good.
green
We
laser.
actually used to, when we were in school years ago, that was a thing. You used to go, piss off, Porky Pig.
Piss off.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Fox Mulder says it's from a Warner Brothers blooper reel shown in-house. Okay.
Oh,
Well, now it's being shown everywhere. Oh, I was stunned when he said that. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, I've got to use that.
oh, ooh, 94 backers.
Look at that. He said at least Porky Pig didn't say Uranus. So that's good.
That would have been the best, though.
Can you
Or the
imagine?
puppet.
Uranus. You're like, what? Oh, my gosh.
Only if you-
I guess I should kind of bleep myself for that, right? The only thing worse than that would be a puppet show. Oh, and there we go. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this one's so noisy though.
Okay, so we're at you climbed up to.
Well, I know I keep waiting like.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good growth. So let's take a look at this. Take a look at Charlie's London campaign again, because this is it's a nice. It's only one backer, but it's a big backer. Look at that, up to 8,856. That was $80 or something in there. If my math is generally correct. So thank you all for heavily backing this on our show. We really appreciate it, and I know Charlie's appreciates it. And for those of you just tuning in, the link is in the description. So don't forget to go visit.
Soon. Scroll down.
That's right. Scroll down at all the good
Circus
stuff.
Box.
There's all sorts of.
19
Where is it?
of them.
Where is it? Where's the Circus Box?
Right there.
The big top Circus Box. You want to tell us what's in that again, Charlie's? Oh, there it is.
So, there's
Oh,
a
my
lot of
goodness.
stuff in there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. The only thing I've got to be really careful with is making sure I keep within the weight, because but you will get the so I'm just trying to remember what is actually in it. So you get all of the books, you get some prints, you'll get a patch, you'll get a magnet, you'll get a badge, you'll get an exclusive Billy Tucci print. You will also get the statistical zero
Sketch
figure
card,
from
yeah.
Sketch card and the
You'll get a sketch card as well, but you will get the
Oh,
figure.
you get the figurine too.
yeah.
You get the figurine, but the difference with the figurine and the one that is in the one that you can get as an add-on, this figurine is already painted silver. The one that you can buy is unpainted, so that you can paint him yourself. So it's a bit like a Warhammer figure or something like that. So originally we was going to do it where the person that created them, Jim, who's one of the CG UK guys, and he also runs his own Studio 7 collectibles company, he was going to hand paint them. But I said to him, like, what do you want to limit this to? And he said, I don't know. And I was like, because if this blows up and there's like 500 of them, you're going to have to hand paint 500 figures. And then we were both like, oh. And then I said to him, look, why don't we just offer them in the silver? Because he'd done some mock-ups and was showing me pictures. So I said, look, why don't we offer them in the silver and offer them unpainted, and people can just do how they want their interpretation of the tramp. And that's how we came up with it.
It's a good idea. So there's the unpainted, and there's the silver version up top right there. So, and you got these great, now these are the boxes it comes in?
Yeah.
So those are
The only
nice.
thing is the logo's going to change. Because that's, so we are, when Peter has finalized the image, that is going to change, and it will be the proper one that's going to be in there. But I wanted people to know, for consistency, they were getting the same quality and the same, level of what we want to do as we did for book one, that we want to do for book two, because the amount of people that commented on the quality of the first book, and everything from the interior art to the way it was packaged. And I want to make sure we do the same thing again. So I've tried to make it that this campaign does that 100%.
And there's all the covers, the color and black and white version of Graham Nolan's. And then, of course, Gabe LTA jumps in there and does the color on that as well. So this is a terrific campaign. It's rolling right along. And but now it's time to do a little trivia.
Oh, this is the part I fear every week.
Well, but see, Charlie's is here. I picked a category that if you got stumped, I know she'll be able to help you out.
Okay.
So
Plan on it.
Okay.
let's see. This is a little segment we like to call Shelley knows. Well, let's find out what Shelley knows, shall we?
A lot of times is not very much.
Okay, so I picked some iconic actors from basically every era of the golden age of cinema up until in the 70s. So, because I thought anything more current would be too easy, and I think some of these are too easy, but I knew who I was dealing with, so I made them. I didn't know for sure, Charlie, if you're going to be joining us, or I would have picked a few harder ones, because I think you might actually be able to help Shelley out on the older ones, since they're more from the Chaplin era. Okay, you can fake it if you don't know.
You can open them all.
No, because I don't want them to see on the side. I want to bring them up one at a time.
All right.
Okay.
I have no idea. I already saw. I have no idea.
I'll give you a clue here.
Scary.
All right. The Man of 1,000 Faces, silent film star, fathered a very famous son who was a junior that followed in his footsteps.
I know who this is. Do you want me to say?
Well, I don't know. Shelley?
Yeah, you say.
Go ahead.
It's Lon Chaney.
Yes, it's Lon Chaney Sr., the Man of 1,000 Faces.
Darn it.
Come on now.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Phantom of the Opera.
Lon Chaney Jr., there's an interesting story. So Lon Chaney Jr. made a film called London After Midnight, and the character was supposedly based on Jack the Ripper. And no copy of this film exists anymore because nobody can find it, because so many of them were destroyed. Because the film back then was made with nitrate film. And the
silver nitrate, yep.
The problem with nitrate is it can explode. So a lot of these films where they were constantly running them through the amount of cinemas that burnt down, you wouldn't even believe. And one of the reasons why Chaplin's films all still exist and they're all digitally restored. Like if you watch a 1917 version of Shoulder Arms, it looks like it was made last week and they've just made it in black. They've just put it in black and white. It's because he built his own studio and he started to use celluloid because somebody told him it was a better way to make films. So it doesn't combust. It's also very easy to restore and transfer onto other mediums. And it's another reason why you have people like the Chaplin estate that look after this stuff and preserve it, because otherwise, like so many silent film stars, we wouldn't have their stuff. We've only got about 50% of Buster Keaton's, and he's the second biggest star apart from Chaplin.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It is sad because London After Midnight is probably the one film that every, film buff would die to see, but we can't, right? There's some stills that have survived. And I believe Todd Browning remade it as Dracula's daughter, or the second, was it The Daughter of Dracula or something, that Bela Lugosi was in it. It was the second Dracula film, but I think it
I think so. I think so.
The stream.
I think so. But the other thing as well is that a lot of these films exist in bits, and like film restorers are still trying to sort it out. There's a guy that I do stuff with called Kevin Brownlow, and he actually won an Oscar for making a documentary about Chaplin. But he spent over 40 years finding bits of the great big epic that was made on Napoleon. He has spent 40 years finding the bits of these films that was missing to put this film together. And it was a
You're talking about the silent Napoleon?
Yes, and it was a 3.5 hour film. And that was a long film for the silent era.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. It was.
And he was going to garage sales and like auction sites to find just bits of this, and they managed to put it all together, find bits, and it took him over 40 years to do it.
Oh my gosh. So there you go, Stat Zero coming in with the facts. It was remade as Mark of the Vampire. That is correct, not Dracula's daughter. Mark of the Vampire is the one that they remade.
Good thing we know smart people.
I know. All right, let's go on to our second one. This sort of spans the silent era as well as the talkie era. She got. What did you say?
Is it Greta Garbo?
It is Greta Garbo.
I got one.
I didn't even have to give you the clue. I was going to say her taglines were, when her first talkie was Garbo Talks, and then when she made the comedy film Nanichka, which is she's like this Russian communist who's ends up in Paris and has a romance with Frederick Douglass, and he has this great line in there because she's this stalwart communist, right? And what did they always say? They had like a 10-year plan where it would take all this stuff to go in, and then communism would blossom and all this kind of stuff. And Frederick Douglass was basically hitting on her, not knowing exactly who she was. And she was, talking about the homeland and how great communism is. And he goes, oh yeah, you guys are in the 19th year of your 10-year plan, right? And something like that. And it was a great joke.
Thanks, Dan, I got one.
So it was Garbo talks, and then it was when she made Ninotchka, it was Garbo laughs. So, and I didn't have to give the clues.
That was going to be a gimme.
I didn't think you'd get that. Now you guys will get, if you don't get this, you're going to have to,
delish.
You're just going to have to go home, I guess, because this is too easy. But how could I not put him in here? Of course, Shelley, this is. Oh, she can't think of his name.
No, you know what I was thinking? Like I was going to say, like Cary Grant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In my head, I went Clark Kent. Like that's why I was like, yeah.
So it was Clark Kent, Clark Gable,
Right.
Cary Grant, somewhere in there.
Oh, what
There you go.
Hitchcock film did I watch with him in the other night?
North by Northwest.
That's it.
Or it could have been Notorious or Take.
No, it was North by Northwest.
That's a great movie.
I'll be right back. Hang on, I want to show you guys something.
All right.
Look at that butt chin.
I
love butt chins.
I got to admit, he was a good looking guy. Judy. Was it Mustache Man Gray says Clark Gable? So close and yet not correct.
You see this? It's a limited edition Hitchcock set.
Hang on a second. I want to blow you up. Hang on. I don't want to blow you up. I want to make you bigger is what I'm trying.
I know what you meant. Look. And it's got a hologram on the front of all different characters in the windows of the Bates house.
Mm-hmm.
When you open,
is that a puzzle or a model?
No, it's just the front. But if you actually open it up, inside it's got all the films, and then you've got this box, the House of Hitchcock, and it's got all these prints and stuff, and it's got like Bates Motel notepad.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic.
Please do not. I got this I think it was a birthday present. I don't remember, but actually the first person I ever showed it to on a stream was Stato. So, because we were talking about Hitchcock films, and Hitchcock was nearly blacklisted as well. They thought he was a communist, but he wasn't. But he was a horrible individual, though. When you hear about the stories about him on the set of The Birds.
But he was a heck of a director.
Yeah, wasn't he just? Definitely. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool. Was that a British release or did you get that from the States?
No, this is a British release.
Oh my goodness.
That's
so
what's on the back. I think you can get them in the States. I don't think it's exclusive.
Wow.
But when I actually looked at it, it was the best one to get because it's got Saboteur, Shadow of a Doubt, Rope, Strangers on a Train, Darwin for Murder, Rear Window, To Catch a Thief, Trouble with Harry, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho, The Birds, Marnie, Torn Curtain, Topaz, Frenzy, and Family Plot. But it's also got a couple of his silent films that he did.
Wow.
So it's got Blackmail on there as well.
Now, have you watched all of them yet?
I haven't watched them all from that set, but I have seen them all before.
Okay, so can you tell me what the trouble with Harry is? I mean, what was the trouble with Harry?
I can't remember. It's been years since I've seen it.
He was dead. That was the trouble with Harry.
I wasn't around.
Yeah, I do remember now. Remember.
All right. So let's get back to this.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, this is another easy one. But again, iconic star. How could I not have him on here? So we're into the 40s now.
Mm-hmm.
Married to
Humphrey Bogart.
Of course.
Yeah, of course it is.
But he was married to how could I forget her name? I loved her. I loved her when I was a kid. Oh, come on, Chad, help me out. It's not Clark Gable, Sheldon. Stop that. Bogart, yeah, but who was he married to? He was married to.
Oh.
She started guest starring on the Rockford Files in the 70s. Oh, not Patrick Swayze. Are you kidding me?
Stan Laurel.
You just random names. Look, Stan Laurel.
Lauren Bacall, thank
There you
you.
go.
And you know what's funny? There's a classic radio show that comes on Saturday nights and Sunday nights. In fact, I probably will listen to it tonight while I'm drawing. And they just play old radio shows. And there was, in the late 40s, early 50s, there was a radio show called, what was it called? That featured Bogart and Bacall in it.
Oh.
And he was like this boat captain, and they were, it was kind of exotic, sort of like Key Largo kind of stuff. And it was a regular radio show starring these guys, which I thought was amazing because they were at the height of their movie stardom, and yet they were doing radio as well. So someone must have paid these guys some bucks, because they had Jimmy Stewart doing Westerns and things like that right when these guys were major movie stars. So I guess the sponsors paid well back then. But anyway, okay, here's one maybe a little bit harder for you.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Make her a little bit bigger here. Okay, hang on now. This is also from the 40s. I had to get some women in here. It was too male centric, and there was a lot of great stars. So, how about this young lady? Do we know who that is? She was known as the sweater girl for the way she filled out a sweater.
Oh,
I actually used her as a model for my Supergirl print.
I actually can't think of her name.
Shall I?
well, I just looked up and saw.
Mustache Gray, you're killing me, man. You're not even close. Although I like Myrna Loy.
Madonna. The only
Sheldon, you're absolutely the worst at this.
the only name I was like that. Hedy
So
Lamarr,
close. Betty Grable was known for her legs. This gal was known for her
boobage.
sweater wearing.
Yeah, all I can think of is Hedy Lamarr.
Yep. Paul's contributing, saying, well, it's not Myrna Loy. Thanks, Paul.
Catherine something?
Nope.
Is it Hedy Lamarr?
You guys.
Who is it?
Who is it?
It's Lana Turner, baby.
Oh, God.
It's Lana Turner.
Lana Turner. I knew that.
Did
But
you?
that was that San Diego print.
Yeah, I told you. I
Yeah.
used Lana Turner as
But I
the
couldn't
face
remember.
model for my Supergirl 1940s print. All right.
Dang it.
We'll get back to something a little bit easier here.
Oh. Don't even
Talking
tell
about
me.
another crappy human being, but a heck of an actor, ladies and gentlemen. Very big in the 50s.
Did not age well.
Well, when you don't take care of yourself,
This is Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
you are absolutely correct. You knew that, I assume.
Yes.
You're just giving Charlie's a chance to jump in there and get one right? Okay.
He actually was in, was it the Countess of Hong Kong or the King of New York? I can never remember. One of the really later Chaplin films where he's not the main character in it, but it had Sophia Loren in it
Yeah,
as
well,
well.
Chaplin directed it, right?
Yeah.
it
And
was
they
Something
didn't
in the
get on-
Countess. You're right. It was something in the Countess, but I can't remember.
The Countess of Hong Kong, but they didn't get on at all. Like they hated each other.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Yeah, he wasn't very nice apparently.
Charlie Brando. That's so
Charlie Brando.
close to not being correct. There we go. Citizen Ronan got it. Charlie Bronson. Okay, that's even worse. Wait a minute. Paul wants Carol Lombard. I'm sorry. Carol Lombard would have been in the 30s, and I had.
Shelley would have never got it.
Yeah, I had to kind of give ones that sort of Shelley had an outside chance at getting. So, all right.
What are you saying? Oops, sorry, I'm an idiot.
So now we go into the 50s and into the 60s here, but one of the most beautiful women ever to grace the silver screen. We all know who that is.
She's like, that is the one I think is the most beautiful woman that ever walked this planet. Is
Her and Ava Gardner, I thought, was really beautiful too. But yeah, this is of course Elizabeth Taylor, who sold us perfume and jewelry later on in her life. But heck of she was in Cleopatra, which was a mega bust at the box office. It cost so much money, they had no chance of making the money back. About 1961, as I recall. But she was terrific. Really good actress too. I mean, not only was she beautiful, but she actually was a really good actress. So,
interestingly, my favourite film ever, not a Charlie Chaplin film, my favourite film ever, it was made in 1969. It starred Richard Burton as Henry VIII and a young Canadian-French actress called Genevieve Bujold as Anne Boleyn, and it's called Anne of 1,000 Days. Mm-hmm. That is my favourite film of all time. I'm terrible. Like, I can quote. Jan won't watch it with me because I can literally quote the whole film. Like, it's really bad. But the Genevieve Bujold was very beautiful, young, very charismatic French actor, or French Canadian actress.
Right.
And Richard Burton didn't have a great reputation with leading ladies. And of course, the way that Elizabeth Taylor and him got together was on the set of Cleopatra, and they started having an affair, which became a massive scandal. Right. She was so obsessed with the idea that he was having an affair with Genevieve Bujold that she stalked the set and hid on the set and used to pay people to let her in as an extra in disguise. There's actually, if you get which I've got the Blu-ray, the latest edition one of that film, if you can pause it, there's a scene when Catherine of Aragon is praying in the chapel and two party goers from the King's Court burst in the chapel, not realizing she's there. You see one of them put the mask up really slowly and sort of back out. And if you freeze frame it, you can see it's actually Elizabeth Taylor. Like,
oh my God,
they actually admitted, yes, she did do that. They denied it for years. They said, yes, she did do that. And you can actually clearly see that she was so
my gosh. I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
And in truth be told, when you read Richard Burton's diaries, they didn't even really massively get on. He thought she was too young to play Anne Boleyn and that she wasn't experienced enough. And she thought he was really he was really dominating on set and she felt really intimidated. So, yeah, it's mad. It's mad what you learn when you read these books.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sheldon says that Elizabeth Taylor married a trucker. Well, considering she married like 11 dudes, right, that maybe one of them was a trucker at some point. I don't know that, but I'll take your word for it, Sheldon, although you haven't been right about anything so far tonight. So I don't know if I should believe you or not.
I'm behind you.
All right, now we're in the 60s.
Okay. And
this guy got 8 Academy Award nominations for Best Actor and never won. He, of course, was best known for early on as for Lawrence of Arabia. That was his first.
Oh God!
And you might remember him from
Sir Laurence Olivier.
Oh my gosh! I was just in my head going.
Well, that's not correct.
No.
So you need to rethink your thoughts here. He was in The Ruling Class. He was in Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
It's Peter O'Toole.
That is correct. Peter O'Toole is who we were looking for, Charlie.
And you know what, Green Laser? When I saw it on the side of the screen,
Willem
it does
Dafoe.
looks like a young Dafoe.
Oh no! Come on, these guys in the chat.
I am with you on that.
Horrible. One. Citizen Ronan, though, he's been on point. He's gotten most of them right.
All right. Well, I know I'm cheating off of that.
Double Phallus.
Excuse me.
Neon Studios got it. O'Toole. All right.
Don't be a tool. Okay.
Wait a minute.
I knew it. It's John.
Omar Sharif. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Omar Sharif was actually in that movie, but
it's a young.
Ethan wishes that was a young Ethan Van Sciver. John Candy. Of course, Peter O'Toole in his most famous role, Peter O'Toole in Uranus. And see, we're having a good time now. See, there you go, young Aaron. Of course, once again, David B would be correct. When I had hair.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I got one more. We're going to jump into the 70s. You guys will both get this. It's easy, but I'll tell you in a minute why I picked this.
Okay.
That picture's big. It's covering up all my stuff. Okay.
Speaking of a young Aaron.
Hey, that was a happening dude.
There he is.
There we go.
Oh.
Charlie's struggling. It's that guy. He did that stuff. I know. He was
I had it when he was over there.
Bronson?
What's that?
Bronson?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
It's Burt Reynolds.
Yes, it is. Just before he got the mustache. See? Now, you know where I saw this picture when I was pulling up the picture for Garbo. This picture came up with Garbo. I'm like, why is this in this thing? And it was just that I didn't read it. I should have taken the time, but I was so busy putting this thing together. It basically said the time that Burt Reynolds snubbed Greta Garbo. And I have no idea. I think he probably did it accidentally, but that was Turd Ferguson.
I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to share something with you guys. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know much about this woman, but she's another one of the ones that I just love. I'm sure. I don't know if you Diana Dawes. Diana Dawes was billed as the English Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. What would she have been in that I would have seen? Oh God, I can't remember the name of the film, but she basically played. There was a film there was a big scandal over here in the 50s with a woman called Ruth Ellis, and she was the last woman to hang. And it was a crime of passion, and they were saying if she had actually this had been in Paris, she would have never been executed, but she was executed, and her story is so sad. But Diana Dawes became very famous because she played a character loosely based on her. And what really shocked everybody was she was this beautiful bombshell, but she could really act. Like, this film is a real serious, gritty drama, and she acts like she's amazing. And she had a really sad life, but she sort of turned to drink and all sorts of things. But then she was in love with this man, like her husband and her, but they had this real fiery on again, off again relationships where they really loved each other, but couldn't live with each other, couldn't live without each other. And then she actually dies quite young, and he just went to pieces because he couldn't live without her. And but she never really got to be what she could be. And it's quite a sad story, but she's definitely one. Diana Dawes. She never. I've heard the name, but I didn't recognize her, so I'm gonna have to do a little more research into her. And of course, this is Sheldon, of course, Martin, giving us more incorrect information. She was in Greatest Hits of Uranus. So, oh my goodness. So I think that's probably a good time to go check the old campaign and see what's happening. On that note, where are we at with Charlie's London? Okay, let's get it. Where are we at? We're 94 backers. Let's see if we got any more. We're gonna refresh. Oh, we got one more.
$101.
It's $101 away from 9,000. That was our goal, wasn't it? To hit $9,000 for the end of the show. Gosh darn it, we can get there, gang. Back Charlie's of London.
Everybody. I'm just really. I'll be totally honest with you. I launched on my channel, and I don't have a huge channel. And I was thinking, like, I don't know how. I had no gauge on how this was going to do. And when the first time I refreshed, it was like $3,000. I was like, oh my God! Like, I couldn't believe it. It was so amazing to see people just. And the people that were messaging me going, we loved the first one. We were couldn't wait for the second. It was just so incredible. I can't even bring, I can't even tell you. It is amazing that
96.
When people, once you do your first campaign and it's fulfilled and you put out a good product, you just get, you get some momentum, and then that second one tends to build on it. So I think you're headed for good things.
Well, you've shown quality, you fulfill. I mean, that's the biggest thing that we kept hearing was, once you fulfill your first one, then I've been, because they're waiting on mine too.
Well, there's a couple that they're backed but haven't shown up yet, so we'll save those guys for later. And again, let me remind everybody that the link for Charlie's London, the Walworth to Wartime, or From Walworth to Wartime, is in the link. The link is in the description of this video. I don't know if I'm all right. I'm like, I'm like blacking out, I think, as I'm talking. I'm not really sure what's going on. But let me see if we've got anything else to
Oh, the one you left off your list, actually, that I thought I was sure she was going to come up, was Jane Mansfield.
I saw old Jane as I was going through the pictures, but I already had 9, and I was like, well, I don't know how many of these we're going to get through, and are people going to get bored before we?
We were a pretty good team.
You guys did. You got them all. Wait a minute. One of you guys could not. You didn't get Lana Turner. You didn't get Lana Turner, but the rest of them, you guys all got. You teamed up and did a fantastic job.
Funny enough, it was only recently. No, well, not recently. A couple of years ago, that I discovered that Jane Mansfield's daughter is Mariska Hargitay. That's in Law and Order.
Yeah. Yep.
But now I know. I can see it. Like I But I mean, that's another sad story with that. She was married to a bodybuilder whose last name was what's her last name? Hargitay. Yeah, Hargitay. That was what's her face's daughter. Yeah, so that was her parents, and basically, I don't know how long they stayed together, but yeah. So that's a sad story. Is she was in a convertible Cadillac going back to. Like they had an off again, on again relationship, and they rekindled after being split up and being with other people. I think one of them got married and got divorced she was on her way back with the 2 kids in the back of the car, Mariska and her brother. Mariska was about 3, her brother was about 18 months old, and she's driving along at stupid speed trying to get back to see him, and that's how she dies. She got decapitated by a tree.
Well, actually, they say that the decapitation thing is actually not true. That she actually did not, because she was wearing a platinum wig and the wig came off, and so you see those pictures of like the wig laying there, and everybody said she got decapitated. She was killed in the accident, but apparently was actually not decapitated, which would have been horrific, even worse for kids. Could you imagine to see that? I mean, it's bad enough that their mother died in the car, but if she lost her head. Holy smokes.
I don't think I've seen interviews with Mariska, and she says she doesn't remember anything, even though she's
that's great.
But like, I'll be honest, like that's another guilty pleasure of mine. I love a bit of Law and Order. I don't know if anyone else. I
used to watch it all the time.
I don't care what one it is, if it's on. Like, it's so. In fact, funny enough, when we've been watching the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, when she was up there, like one little sort of in joke Jan and I had was every time she'd speak, we go dong dong, because we were just like, this looks like the way she's talking to this camera. It's like you want to just go dong dong, and then like
Well, when Sammy was a baby and I would be up all night with her, there was always a Law and Order on one of the channels, and I would know each one of them and what time they were on and which channel I should switch to as I was holding this screaming baby who wouldn't sleep. Yeah.
David B says, of course we'll hit 9,000. Aaron has a lot of pull, bigger than Uranus. So that's a lot of pull.
I was just going to say that they're always on over here as well, Shelley. And so I series link them. And one day Jan came in and he went, why is the Sky box full? Because obviously, like we have like cable TV, you can record it. Sky. He's like, why is this box full? It's got a terabyte hard drive. Like, what is going on? I went, I don't know. I haven't been recording anything. He was going through and he went, you've got 387 episodes of Law and Order recorded in it. Well, because I'd hit like, seriously, and not watched them for months, but they just kept recording.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Like, that's so funny.
Are you going to watch these? Maybe.
I've got it this weekend, if that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that you should try posting on Imgur. What is that? Imgur? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, right.
There are a lot of Chaplin fans there. There's no guarantee it'll hit most viral, but it costs nothing to try. I've never even heard of that.
It's totally true. There's a couple of websites I'm on, forums and things that I've been posting there, and I know that I've had backers from there because I recognise the names. And also, I'd say 40% of the backers on my previous campaign, they weren't CG. They were Chaplin fans. They were people that I've known doing shed ton of stuff in the past. I mean, I've got a Charlie Chaplin Facebook page, Charlie's London, that I post on I post stuff for my campaign and all stuff. And that's got 5,000 followers on it. So I do stuff in various other social media platforms as well. So it's always good to branch out. Always.
Jeff Potts is confirming that Liz Taylor did, in fact, marry a truck driver later in life. So we've got that confirmed. Awesome. If we can believe Jeff. I believe Jeff. I do. I think Jeff is a believable guy. Marcus Killigrew says Imgur is a photo sharing site.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
Now, what does this mean? Love all the Law and Orders, even the UK ones. Is there UK special Law and Order?
There's a Law and Order UK. Only had 2 series, but if you're very familiar with Law and Order, you can actually see where they've just remade the episode and changed the character name. It's good, but it's not American. Like, one thing I love about the American Law and Order is just the way the characters are and the dynamics. You don't really have it the same, to be honest.
Well, see, and then I would rather watch anything from the UK.
Yeah, she watches.
Right now I'm watching Murder Town on Prime.
Oh, my mum's been watching that. There's still the best thing that's been made in the last 10 years for me as far
and then I watched all the Luthers and the
Luther.
Luther.
Did you guys see that the film that's coming out, the Downton Abbey film that's coming out in theaters?
Yeah, it's already out over here. I haven't seen it yet because we were preparing for the campaign.
Well, this is a brand new one.
Oh,
yeah.
So there, I thought of you, Shelley, when she got me watching that a little bit once because she was hooked on it. And
Shelley, have I never told you the story about? So we started watching it again in lockdown. I've seen them all. Jan hadn't seen them all, and he was like, "Oh God, this is going to be such a woman's thing." And I said to him, no, like, basically, it's always had a bit of a place in my heart because I did extras work on the second series.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Because I used to do First World War reenacting. So my First World War reenactment group did all the war scenes in the second series. And so I'll send them to you by DM. I've got pictures of the whole cast. At Highclere Castle where they film it. But what was funny was he started watching it and he got really into it. And then one night he'd had a couple of beers and my mum phoned to see how he was. And he got the phone off my mum and he's going, "That lady Mary, she's such a bitch." Right. And he's talking to my mum. And my mum's like on the phone to him going, "Yeah." And then she's texting me going, "He knows this isn't real, right? He's talking." And I was like, "Yeah, he's just having a couple of drinks."
Oh my God.
Really roast in it. And it was so funny. But I'll send you the photo.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
We got some bad jokes here I have to address. Liz Taylor's kid was a trucker, which made her a mother trucker. Boy,
nothing but quality here, folks.
This is the height of quality pro. Yeah, I don't know if we can go with that. Okay, Peyton's got something here. He says, "Aaron, always remember Uranus is where your Shih Tzu lives."
That was.
Oh my gosh, that's your fault. No, it isn't.
No, you're.
Was that my bit? Was that my bit?
Shih Tzu was your bit.
Okay, I did. Yeah, I did come up with that. All right, but you executed it, so therefore you take the blame.
Well, apparently.
Yeah, but I got to give him this. He's earned it. So
oh my gosh,
if you're gonna do 2 in 1 pose.
Yeah, go.
All right, okay. I'm getting the word that we have to.
We've got to do a check-in.
We have to check in on the campaign to see what's happening. So let's do that. All right, Charlie's, are you ready? We're going to refresh this baby and see where we're at.
Refresh it.
Oh, 91.52. We are over 9,000. We struck gold, baby. Nice. How about that?
Good job, guys.
Where were we at when we started the show? 71, 72, somewhere in that neighborhood?
Yeah.
Look at that. We brought in $2,000. That's pretty good for this show. I'm actually very pleased with you guys. Thank you so much for supporting Charlie's London campaign here. This is awesome. I love to see it. Look at Citizen Rono. We're a high class chat. Of course they are.
I always watch your show back, and I very rarely make it live because of the time. Yeah. But yeah, it's do you know, it's really lovely though to see a couple in CG do what you do, because like that's what Jan and I do, and I feel like there's so many couples in CG, and what always makes me laugh when people say, "Oh, apparently what exists over here," and I'm like, "What? You mean like married couples who talk about their kids and want to do a campaign and like and go to church on a Sunday and you know." And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so that's evil now? Okay,
right, exactly. Hey, Sheldon Martin, who's not evil, he's often misinformed, but we
love him anyway.
That's right. He sent us $4.99. Thank you so much, Sheldon. Aaron doesn't give a hawk for jokes. Wah, wah, wah. Thank you, Sheldon. Nice I just have a very sophisticated sense of humor, and I expect more from you guys. That's all I'm asking.
Just only want the best.
I want the
from
best.
You.
I want the best for you because, Charlie's a guest. I don't want her to get the wrong impression that all we have here is bad jokes. I would like to give the impression that we're funny.
We have good jokes.
I'm the queen of dad jokes. I will tell you. Thank you so much, Dung. I really appreciate that. I will tell you the work. Like, I don't know how I got away with it, but I didn't only get away with it, but other people started using it after me. So let me tell you a really quick story. So
here we go.
It's very hard to plan fun and interactive activities when you're teaching Nazi Germany at school because it's not a nice subject.
Right.
So I've got a group of 15-year-olds first thing on a Monday morning. I know that they are sick and tired of learning this. They know it's one of them topics that you can really only get a grips of it for so long. So I had to teach them about the roles of women. Now, the roles of women is really dark. I mean, like these women forced to have kids with these SS officers and all this stuff. And I'm like, geez, how am I going to make this interesting? So there's a teaching website gives you ideas for resources. So someone said, someone had posted a Nazi speed dating game, right? So I'm like, okay, that can work. I understand that why they do it. They'd obviously match. Oh, sorry, the TV's come on. They can obviously match up these different types of people that are meant to be good to, have children. Yeah. So me being me, I took it one step further, and I found a template for Tinder on the internet, right? So then I made this game, and I called it Swipe Right, and they had to. I then showed on a PowerPoint all these different examples of people, and they had to decide whether they would swipe left or swipe right. And then they had to answer questions on why they picked the ones they did. So I'm building this lesson, and Jan's going to me, you're never going to get away with that. Like, you're never going to get away with that. So I was like, why not? I'm not doing anything wrong. Anyway, I took it into work. And I don't know if it's the same in your school, but when you all use PowerPoint, it's all on the system. You can see like the other teachers' initials if they're on the same PowerPoint as you. They'd all plan different lessons for this. When I told them about mine, all of a sudden, everyone in my department, because we're all teaching the same subject, then initials started appearing on my PowerPoint, and they were all playing the same game at the same time.
Oh, fun. Oh, my God.
And the thing is, the kids had to then do an exam question, and they all understood what it was. So, but it was just Jan going, as I'm making this, I'm sitting in the corner going, and he's going, you are never going to get away with this. You will never.
See, I wish I was creative like that.
That's
There's times
funny.
where it's like,
That's
oh,
great.
gosh.
Let's see. Okay, I just got all the simps to go back your campaign, Charlie's London. I posted your link in the Simpcast show. How about that? People working hard for you. That's great. Daniel Russell says it was worth all the Uranus and Shih Tzu jokes. I'm sure he's assuming getting you to 9,000 is what he's referring to.
I'm so happy.
Swipe right, David B. Can't believe it. Yeah. Charlie's London sounds like a fun teacher. How about that?
I know. I'm so jealous.
I try because some of the subjects are boring. Like, I mean, I love history.
Math for 20 years. I know, boring. I mean, physics is better because I can throw stuff and, we can act stuff out and we can actually demo it. But math, and like to be able to show a video, it is like the best because there are no good math videos.
I'm sure that's true.
Donald in Mathland wasn't bad, but there's some great physics videos, and I can show like there's videos of these people going into the vomit comment about weightlessness, and it's just so much more fun than teaching math. So I'll probably never go back, but that's okay.
Well, hey, Charlie's, do we know if Ethan is streaming tonight or if he's done anything?
He did say to me that he would do later. I think so. I
was just wondering if he'd sent you a link yet while you were on here. Or
no. He spoke. Obviously, he said to me that he's got commitments because of Mother's Day, which is totally understandable. And I think he said that he was going to try to do something later. But at the end of the day, if he's knee deep in doing his own comic or he's with his family, that obviously comes first. So I'm sure at some stage you'll see me on there, and we'll get the EVS love for the campaign, because I know he very much loved the first one, and I know that he really was impressed with the box. So
good.
Well, let's encourage everybody. If you haven't backed Charlie's London, jump over there right now and back, because we're going to wrap this up here pretty quick, as we are over our 2-hour time limit, and us old people need to get to bed. And Charlie's, for crying out loud, it's got to be like 3 a.m. there, isn't it?
To be honest, yes. But I am. But the thing is, I know I'm not going to sleep. So I actually didn't get up till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon today, purposely. So
because you knew you'd be up late.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I'm running on adrenaline or whatever, but I'll be fine. There'll be a point where I can sleep. It's no problem.
Actually, before I refresh this, I want to ask you about something you posted on Twitter a while back. It was a dessert. I thought it was some sort of bread pudding or something, but it had fruit in the middle of it, and it looked more like a bundt cake kind of thing, but it had
the summer pudding. Yeah.
Yes. Tell me about that, please.
Summer pudding is so easy to make, and it's equally, if you're trying to be really good, it's also very healthy, because what it is essentially is you get bread. They say it should be bread that's going slightly stale, so it's slightly harder. Mm-hmm. I use brown bread because if I'm doing it healthily, I use the brown bread. So you get cling film and you cover the inside of a Pyrex round dish, shrink that, and then you put it in, and then you boil up some fruit, like summer fruits, and so you get the juice out, and then you cut these bits of bread to triangles so they go one up, one down. And then you dip it slightly in the fruit juices, and you place them around the outside of, like, inside the container, inside the shrink wrap. And then you keep doing it until you build a wall of this bread, right? Then you put all the fruit inside. You put a piece of bread on the top. You fold the shrink wrap round. You literally put a plate, like a teacup saucer plate, and then you just put it in the fridge for about 12 hours, and all the juice absorbs in the bread. All the bread then sticks together. You can then turn it upside down, take it apart. You take it out, lift all the shrink wrap off. It's stuck together, and then you just cut it, and that's all the fruit inside. So you literally it's just fruit, sugar, or like sweetener, whatever, canderel stuff, and then the fruit. And I put a bit of cinnamon in it as well. And you can either have it with a dollop of cream or on its own. But it's so easy to make. It doesn't even involve an oven. It's just that simple.
Sounds like something they made on the grid.
Do you have a written down recipe for this? Because I'm going to forget this.
I can
send it to me if you've got one. Send it to me, will you? Yeah. I must experiment with this. Okay, so let's refresh this one last. Actually, let's go through the campaign real quick, and then give people another chance that haven't backed yet to see what you've got, and then see if we can get a few more backers here before we close out the show. So we have this, of course, you said starts right around during the premiere of Limelight, which was a movie that he starred in and directed himself in 52, did you say?
Yeah, 52.
And so it's kind of like the night of that premiere, he's staying at the Ritz Hotel, and then we sort of flash back to early in his career, and it takes us from where to where?
It takes us from 1920, when he comes to London in 21, after he's made the kid. And then little does he know that he's about to embark on probably the most salacious decade of his life.
Right.
And you're going to go all through that. And then you're going to see him like make these films in the process. So much stuff happens to him in the 20s and the 30s that shaped him. And you're going to see exactly how that happens through his eyes, thinking about what he's going through in the 50s as well, thinking back to how, and I suppose, I wanted to get it across to people that he's also thinking, were there points in my life where I could have changed the outcome where I was heading to? Or is this not my fault? Am I society's demon, or is the demon society to me, sort of thing? So
interesting. Yeah. Okay, so and we have this wonderful cover by this is the interior artist for the book.
Yeah, that's Mickey's work.
And we also have the Graham Nolan black and white variant, and then the full color Graham Nolan version that Gabe LTA colored as well. There's that with the cover logo on it, the cover. That's a beautiful piece, and also a stretch goal poster or print, right?
Yeah, it will be at 30K.
And then we have this Charlie's London's circus version.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the 2 Graham Nolan covers. We have the Modern Times cover, and then the circus cover are your options.
Yep.
And then this, of course, is the first comic with a new cover.
Yeah.
And so that's also available. So if you missed the first installment, which was shipped just a couple of months ago, and didn't get it with their first Charlie's London campaign, you can still get it here with a new cover. So it's a second printing with a new cover. Yep. You have these wonderful box sets that include all this stuff, prints, comics, and these little what should we call them? I guess they're
just figurines. So
figurines. That's right. I was going to say not statue, but figurine, and they're you can get the silver version, which comes painted silver, or the unpainted one, so you can paint it yourself.
That unpainted, the unpainted one is an add-on, and you can also buy it. The silver one comes in the box.
In the box.
If you did want to add it on, if you did want to add the unpainted one onto the circus box, you can do. If you wanted to paint it yourself, that is an option.
Okay, and that's a resin figurine, so that's awesome. So here's the stretch goals again. We have the 15K stretch goal, which is a Modern Times Charlie sticker. This is by Stat Zero, I'd assume, right?
No, that's 6 a.m. He did the.
Oh, that's 6 a.m. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm
so
sorry.
That's Charlie and Charlie. So that's me as Paulette Goddard.
That's awesome. You've got the 20K stretch goal. Geez, I can't talk. These are bookmarks. The 30K stretch goal.
One bookmark. That's one bookmark. That's the front and back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Look at that. Front and back. Okay.
Yeah.
Reading would be good. I'm really good at looking at pictures, but not so great at reading. The 30K stretch goal, of course, is the Modern Times print that Mickey did. That's fantastic. And then, of course, the 40K stretch goal. Now, explain what this is again.
It's a pin badge. So it's a little badge that everybody will get if we hit the
40K. Okay, so these are all like freebies we get when you hit the stretch goals, people. This is a great campaign with a lot of awesome choices for you. And so I highly recommend you guys check this out and back this campaign. All right, let's refresh and see if we got any more action in the last 20 minutes or so. Anything? No, we're still at 91.52. But I'll tell you what, I think that was a pretty strong evening for a couple-hour show. I think we did really well, Charlie's. And
good job.
I got to thank you for coming on and providing fabulous conversation.
Oh, my gosh.
About a variety of things. We love having you on. You're very entertaining and very knowledgeable. And that is a great combination. It's kind of like Shelley. She's very entertaining and very knowledgeable. And so we
knowledgeable, that was nice.
Yeah, see, I like to throw in some big words every once in a while that mean something.
Well, depending on what you're defining knowledgeable.
That's true. Stuff that I'm not
very talented with puppets.
And so there we got to get that before we go. Neon Studio wants to know Charlie Chaplin Puppet Show. Why didn't we think of this before? Absolutely. Oh. My goodness. Graham Nolan is a distant cousin to Graham Cracker. That's horrible. That may be the worst joke I've ever heard in my life. So I can only reward. I can only give you that because. And Shelley's making me.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
She's just.
It's what I do.
Driving me nuts, people. But
what I do. It's hot in here.
Oh my gosh! Will you stop? Okay, so Charlie's just getting started. She's probably going to go have a few beers and. Really start to roll at 3 a.m. There's got to be a pub open someplace, right?
It's coffee. That's all. But look, in typical stereotypical look, it's got scenes of London on it. I mean,
there you go.
Of course.
Wonderful. All right.
Better.
Well, Charlie, we love the accent. We love you. We're just so glad you're able to come on. I think this is a great show. I really enjoyed talking with you and hearing more about the campaign. And I want to encourage everybody, of course, before we head out, to back this campaign. It's going to be live. I mean, it's live right now, and it'll be live for a while. But don't wait. we need that upfront backing as creators to know that we're going to hit our marks and be able to go forward with the project. So if you can back right now, don't wait, do it now and get out in front of it. And
still time.
There's tons of great freebies that if you signed up early, there's great stretch goal potential freebies when we hit those numbers. So, you know, back the campaign and take a look at Wraith of God if you haven't already. And we just want to thank you guys for joining us and enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day, unless you're Monday like Charlie's. She's already gone and on to the next day. So watch Comicsgate Kings tomorrow night on Monday, Professionals on Thursday.
Must-see TV now.
Charlie, do you do a regular show or do you just do whenever on your YouTube?
I do a CG UK show on the Wednesdays. Normally it's either on my channel or Commie Mark's channel, but this week I think we're going to be going a bit earlier because I'm actually on with Andy and Dennis, the Andy and Dennis show.
Oh,
so I'm over
excellent.
with Andy Smith, and I know that I've got some other shows coming up. So I know I haven't put everything into the little slots yet, but I know I'm going on with Graham and I know I'm going on with Dan Fragger. So there's going to be loads of different. You'll see me. You will see me around definitely, and of course, I'm sure if Ethan drops a link on his in the DM room, we'll all be on a stream together having a bit of fun. So that'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay, everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for joining us. We wouldn't be able to do this if you weren't here to egg us on.
Well, we do it, but it wouldn't be very much fun.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very much fun without you guys. So we appreciate all the good, the bad humor and the sometimes good knowledge and sometimes misinformed knowledge, but we appreciate all of it and we thank you guys. And remember to like and subscribe this channel, and we will see you guys soon. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.